So we all do this, right? We play the what if game.
Oh, constantly. It's part of being human.
It's just, it's unavoidable. That whole road not taken thing. What if I'd said yes? Or what if I'd stayed?
Or taking that huge risk you backed away from.
Exactly. And that feeling, that sense of regret, it can really bind you. So today we're doing a deep dive right into that feeling. We're using Matt Haig's fantastic novel, The Midnight Library, to get some real insights into how we handle choices. And more importantly, how we can learn to, value the life we're actually living.
It's a brilliant source for this because it takes these huge, profound themes, choice, regret, the meaning of life, and it frames them through one person's very relatable journey. It's not academic at all.
Not at all. It's basically philosophy, but disguised as a really compelling story.
Yeah.
And that person at the center is Nora Seed. The excerpts we looked at, they paint this just devastating picture of her at the start. She's completely overwhelmed by dissatisfaction, by depression.
A crushing sense of hopelessness, really.
Yeah. She feels like every single decision she ever made was the wrong one.
Yeah.
And the weight of all that is just, it's too much.
And that really captures what we sometimes call the paradox of choice. We're told having infinite options is the ultimate freedom, but for Nora, all those potential lives she could have lived,
It just paralyzed her.
it led to despair. She measured her one life against this infinite number of idealized, perfect alternatives she imagined.
That's a key distinction.
Yeah.
And that's our mission for this deep dive. We want to pull out the practical, applicable knowledge about acceptance and growth that's buried in this story. We want to see if we can turn Nora's fictional journey into some wisdom you can actually use when you're stuck in your own what-if moments.
Let's do it.
Okay, so it all kicks off when Nora, at her absolute rock bottom, finds herself in this strange, liminal space.
The Midnight Library.
The Midnight Library. And it's not just a setting, it's really the engine of the whole story. The visual metaphor here is so powerful.
It really is.
The sources describe these endless shelves. In each book, each one is a different life she could have had.
Right. If she'd made just one tiny decision differently at any point in her past.
It's an incredible concept.
What's so fascinating is how it immediately makes the idea of infinite possibilities tangible. It's the ultimate do-over.
Yeah.
Suddenly she can actually step into every life she's ever wondered about. What if she become a rock star? A glaciologist?
All those fantasies. And the library seems to promise that somewhere in all those books, there's a perfect, unregrettable life. She just has to find it.
She just has to find the right one.
And she's not alone, which is crucial. She has a guide. Mrs. Elm, the librarian.
She's the anchor in all this.
Totally. The excerpts describe her as this source of quiet wisdom, of calmness. So if the library is this chaotic storm of infinite choice...
Mrs. Elm is the steady hand, the voice of maybe self-awareness.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And that guidance is essential, because without it, you just drown in the options.
You'd be paralyzed all over again.
So Nora, at first, she's thrilled. She just dives right in. She's completely focused on finding that perfect life, the one where the pain just stops.
Where she finally made the right choice.
Exactly. The perfect career, the perfect partner. The life where failure just isn't a thing. She's chasing that flawless existence.
And this part of her journey, this exploration, is really the instructional core of the whole thing. It poses this critical question that you, as the listener, have to consider. If you could be anything, what's the big lesson you actually learn?
Right.
And what Nora discovers over and over again, and very painfully, is that no life is perfect.
Let's really dig into that, because I think in summaries of the book, that point gets a little glossed over. It's not just that they're not perfect, it's how they're not perfect. What kind of trade-offs does she find?
Well, the text is great at showing this. It's not just telling. For instance, she tries the life where she's a globally famous musician.
The one she dreamed of.
The one she regretted giving up. And she gets the fame, the adoration, but she loses all her privacy. She loses her connection to her family. She's exhausted and deeply isolated by the demands of it all.
So she got the glory, but the cost was genuine human connection.
Precisely. She didn't trade her imperfect life for a perfect one. She just traded one set of problems for a completely different, and in some ways worse, set of problems.
That's fascinating. She's just swapping out one kind of challenge for another.
Exactly. Or take the life where she pursued swimming and became an Olympian. She got the physical power, the international fame.
Gold medal.
Gold medal. But the sources imply that the sheer brutality of that training, the constant pressure, the physical toll, it meant she'd sacrificed any kind of spontaneity or mental balance.
So the flawless outcome she saw from the outside came with this massive internal cost she never would have agreed to if she'd known.
She wouldn't have. And that's the key takeaway for all of us, isn't it? The illusion that one different choice would have led to this problem-free existence.
Yeah.
It just gets completely shattered.
Right. It forces you to realize that perfection isn't some destination you fail to reach. It's a flaw in how you think about choice in the first place.
Every decision is a trade-off, an exchange.
And that realization, that failure to find the flawless life, is what turns this whole experience into a kind of therapy for her.
It's absolutely a form of mental and emotional therapy.
Yeah.
Because it forces her to confront her biggest regrets head-on. She gets to see the alternate outcomes.
And when those outcomes turn out to be just as flawed,
Her original regrets start to lose their power over her. They start to dissolve.
I wonder if that makes the process faster. She's not just sitting in an office talking about the what-ifs. She's living them. She's experiencing the compromises in real time. She's getting hard data on the fact that a life without friction is impossible.
Precisely. It's the power of forced confrontation. When she re-enters a life she regretted leaving, like a relationship she ended, she finds the same issues are still there.
Or they've just changed shape.
Exactly. They've just morphed into new, equally difficult dynamics. It turns out the problems weren't always external to the situation. They were internal to how she handled things.
And that lesson about regret that emerges is just so liberating. The sources really show how regrets can imprison us. They trap you in this loop of replaying a past you can't change. But the library gives her the key to unlock that prison. By living the alternative, Nora sees that every experience, even the mistakes, especially the mistakes, they all offer a chance for awareness, for growth.
Her journey really is a direct reflection of how so many of us struggle today with anxiety and regret.
Yeah.
We're constantly comparing ourselves to other people's lives on social media
Or in her case, to her own infinite hypothetical self.
Yes. And the book acts like this corrective mirror. It shows that happiness isn't hiding on a different shelf somewhere. It's about accepting that there isn't one single right path. There are only the paths we take. And the real value comes from the wisdom and the intention you bring to the path you're on.
So the therapy is all about accepting imperfection. She's forced to see herself, her own patterns, in dozens of different contexts, and she sees how she reacts to stress or failure, and that doesn't really change with her job title.
Yes. For so long, Nora believed her life choices were the source of her misery. But the library proves the source was actually her cognitive filter.
Her mindset.
Her deeply held belief that she wasn't valuable unless she was achieving something big, something external, or that any difficulty meant she had failed. The library doesn't change her life. It changes her relationship to her life.
And the second that perspective shifts, the whole book pivots. We go from chasing this perfect external life to defining what true internal fulfillment actually is. What does she find by the end? It's clearly not about achievement anymore. She's seen that fail to bring her peace time and time again.
Ultimately, the novel defines fulfillment not as a perfect state of being, but as an active state of being present. Nora discovers it comes from accepting the life she had, all the blemishes, all the mess, and recognizing its inherent worth.
It's the difference between a life that looks good on paper.
And one that actually feels good to live.
That's the heart of it. And once she stops that desperate search for perfection, the story really focuses on the values that genuinely sustain us.
It does. It highlights the strength we find in our shared human fragility, and it puts a spotlight on what you might call ambient happiness.
Ambient happiness, I like that.
You know, the satisfaction you get from small, unphotographed moments, from real love, from genuine connection, and from courage, not the courage to be famous, but the courage to just keep going, to keep participating in your own life.
It's a complete 180 in her perspective.
Yeah.
It moves her from this profound darkness and hopelessness to a place of acceptance and light.
Yeah.
The final message is so hopeful, but it feels earned. It feels grounded. What matters isn't getting a flawless life. It's finding peace with the life you're in and cherishing the messy, imperfect moments inside it.
She goes from measuring her life by what she lacked, all those other books on the shelf, to measuring it by what she has right now. The ability to connect, the capacity to feel, the simple chance to just be. It's about making a conscious decision to appreciate what's right in front of you.
Absolutely. So, to just quickly summarize the core themes in this deep dive, the Midnight Library shows us that the freedom we're all looking for, that release from anxiety and regret, It's found in acceptance,
Acceptance of the present reality.
not in this endless, exhausting hunt for some perfect alternative reality.
And that brings us to a final thought for you to take away, one that comes right out of Nora's experience. Given this insight, that regret can be a prison, and that every life path is just as imperfect as the next.
Mm-hmm.
Think about one choice in your own past that you agonize over. If you knew with 100% certainty that the alternate outcome would have just brought a new, equally difficult set of challenges, maybe a different kind of loneliness or a different kind of stress, would you still spend the same amount of time and energy regretting the path you actually took?
That question really gets to the heart of it. Trading the real present for a hypothetical past. Appreciating life as it is, imperfections and all that, really is the ultimate lesson from our sources today. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.